A United Nations convention met today to discuss how to combat desertification and drought, not only in Kenya, but other parts of Africa. And our reporter, Caroline B., attended that particular conference. Let's now join her live from our city center studios to just understand some of the solutions that were reached at this particular convention. A very good afternoon to you, Caroline. Many thanks for joining us. What exactly was discussed in this particular convention?
Good afternoon, Akisa. I think, first of all, it's important to note that since our government announced that there's going to be a La Nina here in Kenya, it has already started being experienced in areas Garissa. We're looking at Kilifi counties. These areas have been hit by the drought. And since it's an emerging issue, well, it's best that the United Nations, with the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources, convened a meeting so that they can be able to discuss these issues and see how well they can be able to maybe put recommendations and tackle this problem that is becoming quite a problem in Kenya. And some of the issues that came up was about land degradation. Most Kenyans actually engage in charcoal burning as opposed to planting more trees. And as you know, we need to achieve the 10% forest coverage here in Kenya, which has not yet been achieved, and which was a convention that was discussed in Bonn, Germany, to get the 10% forest cover here in Kenya. So land degradation is still a problem, which has led to desertification in most areas. If we look at Lake Magadi, for instance, well, the river could be drying up if interventions or measures are not going to be put in place as fast as possible. And the PES, Mr. Sunkuli, who was representing the Cabinet Secretary, Judy Wakungu, said that if they can be able to sort out these land degradation issues, then maybe in the next 3 years or in the next 10 years, we shall be able to achieve the forest covers. Another issue is about land being left to waste out. As you know, in Kenya, we need to have 75% of food provisions to Kenyans, which is still a problem. And most of the times when we need this food, we go to forest and wetlands to acquire this land, as opposed to other lands that have been left bare. If you go to most places in Wajir, for instance, you find that land is left bare and it is not being put into use for agricultural purposes or for food production. And this was an issue that was raised by the UN Secretary for the United Nations Convention on Drought, which is a conference that is currently ongoing, that if they can also be able to get this wasted lands as opposed to getting the wetlands and the forest, then it will also be another issue that they can be able to tackle drought and desertification in Kenya. Well, the convention actually begins today and is expected to come to a close on the 20th of this month. World leaders are coming together, and various players from the environment sector are coming together so that they can discuss on policies that can be put in place to mitigate this desertification in Kenya. And around all the 10 counties, 10 counties in Kenya are actually currently experiencing this desertification, which has left several people without food, livestock dead. You know, cattle cannot also be able to access the fodder that is required. So some of the measures are going to be discussed as well. Akisa?
All right. Thank you very much, Caroline, for that update. Caroline B. is our reporter joining us from our City Center studios with an update on that United Nations convention that is expected to discuss how to combat desertification and drought, something that is already being felt in the country from more than 20 counties. All right. At this point,